Wow. So, okay. I was channeling. I was totally channeling, and I was gonna start a tarot reading. That's why I have the situation like this. But for now, I'm just gonna put the cards here and just continue it. I need to tap back in really quickly because I just knocked over my phone screen right in the middle of this channel. But I'm still I'm still collectively able to pull it all back together. At least I'm feeling very confident right now in this channeling. So I was discussing starseeds, and maybe I need to scoot over to the left. That's what I'm getting. Scoot over to the left. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So I was talking about the Starseed Collective, or at least that I was channeling information about certain star seeds, specifically the Orinian, or maybe you don't exactly know what your starseed lineage is. And I'm aware there are many stories out there, other people's experiences and their connections and their insight to certain connections to different stars and clusters and what was I going to say? So I was going to say, like, okay, for instance, let me use some examples. Like, for instance, I've tried myself to look into what starseed, what star am I from? And like, how do you even figure that out? Like, what, of course it makes sense that, like, if you find yourself, maybe drawn to a certain star or a certain constellation even. And what's funny is Libra is technically a constellation, right? Those are the 12 constellations that concern our astrology, right? So I don't know, I'm just going with whatever's coming to my mind, and I feel like this is going to be great. I have a really big feeling this is going to be some pretty deep information that I am going to be unraveling as I think about it right now, because I don't believe that I'm just in myself. I think that I am definitely channeling something right now. And I haven't actually, anyways, I'm not going to get into that. I haven't actually done it really. Like, I do it like here and there, and just kind of tapping into it. But I don't know, there's a lot of things happening on the planet right now, and this is exactly what I'm going to talk about. Okay, so I'm going to try and collect all of it, because I just feel like all of my thoughts want to go 100 miles a minute, and I can see them in three different lines, like three different parallels, if you will, even though when we think of parallel, we only think of two, but you know what I mean? Like, when we think about parallel lines, I guess that's just parallel lines, so we would think about that, but yeah, different planes, like different timelines, different realities, different dimensions, It's wild, you guys. It is super freaking wild. So, I was just talking about how I've looked into trying to figure out what star I'm from, or what the heck that even means, or like, why am I drawn, like, what the heck, like, I read this book that was Letters to a Starseed, and it was part of a group of books that I bought when I went to Barnes and Noble in 2021. It was after I first got sober, again, for the who knows how many times. But anyways, I was on my, like, journey to self-discovery, and it's interesting because the few books that I bought that day, or maybe not the I Am Diosa, which is the book that probably started me. That's interesting. Okay, so that book, the I Am Diosa book, is it's a book about like journeying back to your soul. And it was very profound for me. It was the only book that I've ever, and it has a lot of like prompts in it, like journal prompts and like introspective questions, to ask yourself. And so that book, and then when I went to go to Barnes and Noble and bought this group of books, one of them was The Letters to a Starseed. And in that book, I don't recall the authors. I'm very sorry about that. I don't mean any disrespect. I don't know. Maybe I'm just more always about a collective, like, of information. Like, it's nice to give people credit for their, I don't know, for things. But I've never been that great at it, and maybe I'll get better. If I wish to be or not, right? Like, that's the whole point. But anyways, so the two titles of these books, the I Am Diosa means I am goddess, right? Or I am the goddess, I believe. And then there is The Letters to a Starseed. And in her book, I'm going to quote her, and she said how she came across that word, starseed, and it struck a chord within her. She may not have said that exactly, but I'm saying that's my interpretation of it, because that is what I think is happening right now. Because like I said, I've looked into the how to figure out which stars, where the frick am I from? You know what I mean? Like, where am I from? Where is this? Why? Because in the Starseed book, she suggests to pay attention to the constellations that you're drawn to. And for me, it's Orion. And I don't know if that's just because it's like one of the brightest constellations in the sky in the wintertime. And maybe it's only really nice and seems reasonable for me in Arizona to like be outside in wintertime looking up at the sky because the weather is kind of nice. It's not even like super cool yet. Or depends on the year, I guess. But anyways, but you know what though? That's a lie, because personally that's like my rational mind trying to tell me those things. That's like the trolls that are going to try and come on here maybe, and I'm not saying that they are going to, but that would be like a troll's response. You know what I mean? Because I seem to get only positive, loving comments here on this YouTube community, and I'm so thankful for that. And I will never see it any different. Anyways, so aside from that, I don't believe that we need to be rational about this, and also we need to be going with our gut, and it takes a little bit of practice to figure out your channelings, your gut senses, what is it that's speaking to you? Where are you feeling things in your body? You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's so crazy. I just barely got back into the Kundalini, and I go through spurts of doing different things, trying to get back into doing yoga or things like that. But lately I've been really focusing on myself, like 100%. No one else in this world is more important than me right now. And I'm going to say that for the rest of the collective of starseeds. Whatever star constellation you're from, like, I don't really know yet. Like, regardless of any of that, like, we all need to be finding out what our mission is. But even bigger than that, like, yeah, we all have like a really strong pull to like being charitable and giving and aware and connected to source and to ourself. But how many of us are really stepping next level and to the next level and to the next level? Like, right? Like, how many years are we going to sit on knowing that we are a starseed and that we have a mission on this planet before we like actually like fucking do the shit. Like, I'm not kidding. I'm serious. Like, I've been feeling this so strong lately where I'm just like, what in the fuck, guys? This is really happening. And I'm not mad. When I say that, I'm not like, you all don't know me super well yet, but I'm very like myself. I can't really explain it to anybody until you get to know me, you'll see. And I do have to explain these things to certain people because my tone might throw you off, especially if you're an empath or something like that. So I'm trying to be as clear as possible and as open as possible, but also get straight to the point. Because what I'm witnessing, and this is just me, take what resonates, for you, because that's what I believe this whole mission is. At least we're in the beginning stages of figuring it out. We're barely, well, a lot of us, yeah, I am speaking to you. A lot of us are barely scratching the surface. Like, yeah, we even if we've been doing like tarot readings on YouTube for years, or we've been doing them for decades, or we've been doing them forever, whatever it is, this time right now, we have to throw away what we knew about all of those things before and tap into them differently. With our, like, we like, that's what I'm picking up right now. This isn't coming from me. Like, maybe I'm channeling my higher self, and she's really fucking, like, whenever my higher self comes in, she's like, she's no bullshit. She's like, no, this is how it is. Put your fucking little Jackie aside and let me take the reins right now, because this is very important. And she doesn't have any fear whatsoever, and she's very straight to the point. She's also very loving and very kind and very observant and doesn't stand for any fucking bullshit. None. Like today, earlier, okay, not even gonna get into that part, but she definitely stands in her like authority, and she's like, no bullshit, like, I don't care what you. And my 3D side of me sits aside and is like, yeah, I know, take the reins. Yes, I've actually done a lot of work to have this happen. And I'm not going to tell you exactly how, because I don't really think that there's an exactly how. There's not like a book I could write you that would be like, hey, this is exactly how you will activate and become the mission leader or builder or whatever the flippin' fluck it is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't believe in that. Whatever it is for you, however you. But it takes a lot of, first of all, letting go of the reins. It takes a lot of healing. It takes a lot of that. It takes a lot of sitting with yourself. It takes a few, at least in my experience, isolation seasons. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect. My 3D side is like popping in and trying to tell me I'm not perfect. Like, I know, Jack, we know you're not perfect. That's why you're human. But this is my higher self channeling right now, and so take it however you need to take it. I'm really kind of over all of that at this point. It's like, it's so beneath us. We need to get over the projections and the belittling and the correcting and the this and that and the other fucking thing, because it's not about that. It's literally an individual thing for each and every human on this planet. An individual thing for each and every human on this planet. I don't think any of us are entirely 100%. We're not. We're not alien. We're not 100% alien. We are human starseeds. And I'm also channeling, we are human angels. There's so many layers to this concept, and they are all flooding to me right now. Flooding to me on YouTube, flooding to me because I know, silly as it may sound to some of you who may not be fully on the higher self connection thing, but my spirit guides use every single tool in my life, good or bad, to channel to me messages. Early 2020, I was in my addiction again, dating a narcissist guy again, the same one that I had been on and off with for almost 13 years, who was practically almost killing me every time I went back to him. Literally, no. He even would say that to me. He was very violent. I mean, not going to get into that stuff. We all can relate to the narcissism. We all can relate to the why. Why are we drawn to the narcissism? Or we can relate to the fact that we've been in a relationship with narcissists. And if you haven't recognized it yet, starseeds, light workers, empaths, chosen ones, angels, earth angels, if we haven't recognized what we're in, first of all, I can say all of this coming from little Jackie because I've been through so much trauma, but I've been so blessed for that trauma. First of all, I also know that I signed up for that trauma. Like, in a way, right? Like, I believe that in my heart. I actually believe that because I've paid attention to the things that I say. And something that I used to say all the time, and I still do, is that I've always, and I don't say this because I intend to make I feel like I'm at the end of this, right? Or actually, let me back it up. Okay, I'm gonna just tell you what I say, what I've said in the past that led me to where I was going with believing that I signed up for this without really knowing, is because I said, if I feel like I'm just trying to channel like something that I've said before, and so it might come and sound differently. Something that I've said in the past was, I feel like my soul chose to experience things like the hard way so that I could truly understand everything. And I believe that 100%. Like, I really do believe that because I'm like, I question things a lot. I question everything. And now that I've gotten my voice back, like, I know there are a few things about myself that I've always known, and I've always said fuck anyone else's opinions about it. I don't think it's fair when kids ask questions and we don't give them the fucking real answer. We like put kid gloves on them and try to fucking go around the subject and act like that's gonna be good for them. Because here I am, almost 40 years old, having to figure all this shit out again. Like, wait a minute, what? Wait a minute, what? Like, you gotta be kidding me. That if I would have just known when I was a kid some of the stuff that had happened to me and got the count, like, it's just like, I'm tired of wasting time. You know what I mean? And so I don't want other people to continue to waste time. And not only that, we're speeding this ascension up super quick for ourselves. We're speeding this ascension up for ourselves because so many of us are doing the work in conjunction to the seasons within ourselves, the earth, and the sky. The constellations, the galaxy. Oh my God. At the same time I'm saying that, I'm like screaming inside, like, oh my God, as above, so below, blah, 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 blah. Like, as within, so without. Like, 3. It is multi-dimensional. Dude. This is so trippy, but it's so cool. So it's like, okay, if this is speeding up and we're going to be getting to this point where, first of all, I know that there's no like, what's it called? This isn't a race. We're not like, what's the word I'm looking for? We're not like, Yeah, it's not a race. It's literally not a race. But I'm witnessing some seriously new things within the energy, and there are so many other people in the collective that are as well. And so I don't know, like I said, I just wanted to come on and talk about this stuff because I don't believe that the information was ready to be given to us when like I've also heard that before too, and I'm also channeling like we haven't been we first of all, we can't know things too soon. We really can't. We really can't know things too soon because we won't understand it. And I've accepted this through the journey to getting to know my higher self and getting to know the difference between when I'm thinking something and when my higher self is speaking. And it the first time that it happened to me was like 6 months ago, maybe. No, like yeah, around 6 months ago, 6 to 8 months ago. We'll say that about 6 to 8 months ago. I experienced my higher self taking the reins, if you will, and her speaking through me and making decisions that I normally would be too scared to make. It was wild. So I've had it happen a few times. I've had it happen a few other times recently. Like it's been happening in waves. Just kind of like this whole man, I channel clearer when my eyes are closed, but I feel like I'm not doing enough on the camera for you guys. So just bear with me. So I can kind of give you guys like an example because I have an example for myself now, and that's all it really is. I'm not on here doing this just for you guys. I mean, I'm not being selfish either. I'm just trying to give you guys a real example or a real time. Would example be really the right word, or would yeah, I guess it would be an example. But it doesn't mean that it has to be the same way for me, for you. You know what I mean? Because I really believe that we like I said, we're meant to figure this out for ourselves. How it resonates for us. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you can, I know there are a lot of people who like, for instance, with tarot, they're not tapped in enough to know when they look at a card. I just pulled the Wheel of Fortune card. The Wheel of Fortune. That is fucking crazy. I'm sorry, where was I just going with that? I'm getting so many downloads as I'm looking at this card. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. Right there. Normally someone who, and I'm not saying that there's a wrong, that's a wrong way to read tarot, because I still read tarot that way, but I don't know. It's just different, you guys. You know, we all need to some people can look at a card and not even like associate the Wheel of Fortune with it at all, or whatever it is at all, and they just look at the image. Like, you know what I mean? It's like however you channel, or some people scry. Like I you know, it's just however you do things. You got to tap in and let it flow. I don't think that we've even maxed on all of the ways that we can tap in. Prime example. Something by Libra season, for sure. And I'm definitely getting Ancient Egypt. It looks like these are the constellations. And the Wheel of Fortune. I mean, I don't know. Maybe not constellations, but I see like, okay, so for, okay. So these are star seeds. Lions, Lyrans, Blue Avian, or I'm also getting Anubis with that for some reason. But they kind of could have ears like Basset. We can't see the ears. Or Sekhmet. You know, you got the Cobra here. There's a Taurus. There's some angel wings on both sides, right? Or maybe that's a mushroom. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm getting so much, like, as above, so below. Look, the sacred scarab beetle and this fucking sphinx. And I'm also getting Isis with both of that. As above, so below. I'm getting Isis with that. And we're just about to come up on this new moon. I think in just next month. Is that a 7? It's probably not a 7, but I'm getting, it is from, which is the Galactic New Year, and I'm getting 0. Ooh, Alpha Omega. I don't know what the fuck. And that's pi. Or it's probably not pi, but I'm getting pi with that for some reason. And I don't know. I'm getting pi with that. I don't care what you see or what it actually is. That's what I was channeling when I saw that. So and this symbol right here is giving me kind of like a ship. I was just talking to somebody earlier too about like, so obviously we're talking about starseeds. So it's like, obviously we believe in aliens. Obviously we believe that, you know, we understand that a starseed is what it sounds like. Does that mean we're part alien, or that we're gonna have like a half alien like entity enter us? I don't know. Well, I was just getting that. I kind of stopped channeling, and I'm just kind of because I had to I opened my eyes, so it's like my higher self is still here, but I'm just using my mind right now. Not my mind. I'm just using myself, my 3D self, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean, though? Like, there's an eagle here too. It looks like there's a bell. I don't know what that is. But look, the rainbows. Rainbow Light Warriors. Wow. So see what I mean? I don't know if you guys, if I said this in this part of the video or if it was on the last part of the video. Where when I was talking about like whatever word or label resonates with you. Whatever word is your activating word, right? So that's why, I don't know, I think it's like very 3D of us to think that we're like just one of them, because I resonate with all of them. I don't know if that's just because I'm like I am psychic, or I'm just an empath, or whatever, you know what I mean? Because I believe that we can all tap into those psychic abilities, but are psychics always empaths? I mean, I think that we can resonate with a few different things. So that's why I kind of just think that it's more just a 3D thing that we do here. I feel like for the Wheel of Fortune to come out as the first card is very I don't know. I think I need to just, okay. So I already pulled a few cards, so I totally changed the whole energy of everything right now. So I'm just going to tap into this. But I love the shuffle. It really makes me calm. And the cards were flying out, so I was like, all right, Spirit, I'll take that one. Okay, all right, Spirit, I'll take that one. Okay, Spirit, all right, I'll take that one. So, like I said, to pull the Wheel of Fortune card right in the beginning, The dogs are kind of going off next door. They have like 50 schnauzers and they're barking right now. And I don't know if I told you guys, but my video got cut short. Interesting. And the peacocks are now crying out. This is really important. Okay. All right. So I'll get there. I will just get straight to it. Not straight to it because and I just saw the number 33 as I'm flipping through the pages, but not really flipping through the pages. Now I am. Okay. Wow. So the Wheel of Fortune. All right. So let's tap into what this card's trying to tell us right now. And okay, wow. Okay, all right, Spirit, can we slow it down just a little bit? Because like I want to make sure that I get this out, or at least, you know what, Spirit, and my higher self, I'm gonna ask you both to use me as your divine vessel. Allow me to have the words to articulate this message concisely. Is that the right? Well, there we go. And clearly, so that I may remember all of the things that I am being channeled right now, because my mind wants to tell me that I won't remember. And so just give me some strength and allow me to channel this message. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune spins in color. The carousel figures rise and fall in the rhythm of the seasons and ages of humankind. I can't even. Dance in the witch's tradition is an integral element of prayer or the introduction of spirit into matter in the craft of magic. And there's been oh my gosh, okay. So the last time that I was feeling this way, which is just the other night, I shared the invocation and evocation and prayer, witches and the green man. I don't know if you saw it. If not, if you're interested, I would check it out, because this is the same thing, and I've seen a couple of other people channeling this information or sharing this information. They may not call it channeling. Some people may actually just be like, yeah, this is what I'm thinking right now. But we're channeling, you guys. We're collective. This is a collective. We're gaining collective consciousness right now. Whatever you want to call it. Christ consciousness, God consciousness. We're tapping into the higher realms of information that's just in the ether. We can literally just like tune in. Okay? And a lot of what's being talked about is there's like this old world paradigm that we're meant to break. This is what we came here for. A lot of you guys probably grew up in different religions, but never had the spirituality behind it. And we've all been being ushered to figure that out. And magic is very much a part of something I personally had to get past, thinking that it was evil. And I know a lot of you already are aware of that, but some of you might not be. The Wheel of Fortune spins in color. The carousel figures rise and fall in the rhythm of the seasons and ages of humankind. Dance in the witch's tradition is an integral element of prayer or the introduction of spirit into matter in the craft of magic. The combination of rhythm and motion unites the body, mind, and soul in the direction of will or intent, creating a synergistic motion. Direction is an important factor in this choreography. Clockwise movement reflects the natural pattern inherent in growth and evolution from past to present. Many inner and biological workings follow this positive pattern, while counterclockwise motion is linked to swimming against the current. It does find its place in the removal of negative energy and ritual banishment, and so turns the wheel of the year as it waxes and wanes through the seasons. The symbols of Sulfur and Aquarius are inscribed above the figures turning on the carousel. While in the next rotation, those of Salt and Mercury are revealed. The letters ROTA, the road, and appear on the base of this wheel to read tarot. The letters of the, I need to figure out how to pronounce this word, tetragrammaton, or divine law. Okay, let me pause, because what? All right, so like I mentioned about the whole, okay, so in my last video, I'll just tell you about it. So I was talking about spirit, prayer, witches, and because I watch all my videos again, and I'm really honest with myself. And I was witnessing myself during the video, and I'm just like, I accept myself for wherever I'm at, however I am, like I can't change unless I really do that. So anyways, or really see who I am until I do that. So like, I noticed that I had this like irritating witch wound. It felt like that in the video. And because the word witch has such a like negative thing. It's funny because I actually used to identify with that word before I knew about starseeds, light work, and all that, because I never really looked at witches or witchcraft or anything like that as evil. But so many, what do they say, Pharisees coming at us right now with this thing, and it's like I identified with alchemy, mysticism, and things like that. And some people, I even saw earlier today, some lady posted something about Deuteronomy something and talking about how tarot is sorcery and magic and whatever the flippin' shit. Like, fuck you. I'm sorry, but like, fuck you. That's not true. But anyways, back to like the shit that really matters is like magic. We are magic, and we create magic, which is a connection to spirit in these ways. And so like I was talking about I guess I didn't get into that, but like casting a circle and even using sage in your house, counterclockwise from your front door versus clockwise. Like those things are very important. And recently, and even the dance thing, like docile. Some people have exaggerated, words, but really they're just words. Like however they resonate for us, cool. But like really just like we got to try to pull that like away from the narrative. And like a lot of these things, I don't even know what the heck they're talking about, but they may resonate for some of you guys. And if it does resonate and you do know what the heck tarot, the letters of the tetragrammaton, or divine law, because I've never heard of divine law. I've heard of universal law. And that's giving me ma'at, like, you know what I mean? Justice. Universal law, like your heart, like weighing your heart against the feather, like on the scales, Anyways, that's why I always suggest going with your gut, Trusting, and that's the only way you're going to ever know how to trust your gut is when you fast. Lots of fasting. I did months of fasting on and off. And it was different than fasting when I was just like on drugs. You know what I mean? Even though I was still connecting to source, because I don't feel like we ever lose that connection. And that's another thing that we need to look past. Like, we all have our flaws. That is why we were chosen to be the example, so the rest of the world doesn't keep being in this fear that they're doing it wrong. Okay. As the eye of the storm, the Sphinx with sword drawn at the ready is the silent guard traveling at the mystic center of this revolving mandala. Okay, so what I was going to say about that too, I'm sorry, I got scrolled back into what I was talking about the docile, the dancing, the circle, and everything like that. So I've been doing grounding a lot lately, and when I say grounding, I'm simply walking barefoot back and forth on this like I don't even think it's a half a mile. It's just like a house, like the length of, maybe it's like an acre. Maybe it's 5 acres. I don't know. It's probably like only 3 acres. And I walked that 3 times. And then there are times when I'll, be feeling some type of way, and I'll do a circle. Ooh, and this reminds me too, last week when we were going through the solstice, around the solstice energy and the full moon, which is funny because there's that energy here as well. I mean, now we're waning into the new moon. Anyways, what I was going to say is that day I drew 3 circles on the ground. Never have I ever done that before. I was just like feeling some type of way, knowing I needed to get out of my head. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to like let myself be a kid right now and just not really care, because I'm literally in the middle of nowhere. Like, if anyone drives by and tries to judge me, like, bitch, fuck off. Like, I'm literally tapping into some pretty cool ass shit right now. If you want to be a naysayer, cool, go naysay over by the fucking goats. Okay. Anyway, so, because I'm the real fucking goat. Anyway, so I drew these circles, and I drew them in reverse, counterclockwise. I don't know why I did that, but then all of a sudden, it was like oh my God, I'm just getting it down. Like, it's like maybe I like unlocked something. Anyway, so I did that, and during that like little thing, oh my gosh, wow. I was tapping into some crazy ass like shit. I felt like I had a katana, and I was fucking fighting. Like, I wasn't fighting. I felt like I was training, and I was like really impressed with myself. I'm like, who is this? And the night before that, I was in my room doing some like ballet. I'm like, where the fuck am I even, like, what? I've never even danced. Like, I've never danced like this before. How am I doing this? So anyways, side note, back to this, but the mandala thing too, because I'm like thinking out loud in my mind, and there was something about crop circles too around the solstice, and I keep thinking like, I wonder what my footsteps are creating as I walk, because I don't just walk around. Like, I make all kinds of shapes around the house. Like, I'll do circles. I'll like, interesting, Like, I would really be curious. I wonder if I can look at my Google Maps and see, like, my walk map. They do it for, like, everything else. So that would be cool if they could do that. I wonder. I'm really curious now. I just caught 1:44 on my clock, or 441 on the clock. And for whatever reason, at 1:44, 44, it was 4410 is the technical number, 44 minutes and 10 seconds. But I always see things forward and backward, and when there's a 0, like, I don't know, like I said, we all have different ways of how we tap in and when angel numbers call to us. And I've been getting a lot of sharing with people angel numbers too. And also, like, I've noticed when I think that I know what an angel number means, unless it's like one like really, 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 really good, like 333, for instance, means right place, right time, right track. That's at least what I've always assumed it to be. But now it's even deeper. But anyways, so I've been feeling called to say a lot of stuff lately that I don't usually say to everyday people or just other people in general. And I've also been channeling things differently. And there will be an extended reading here because I have a certain je ne sais quoi that I have to work with when it comes to uploading these videos to YouTube and things like that. And I'm very thankful that I can even share these messages. Being that I haven't worked in a year, I've been spending so much time trying to figure this stuff out for myself to really understand myself even deeper. And I feel like this is like the third deep phase that I've gone through over the last 4 years. And I know that it's only going to get deeper and deeper and stronger and stronger. So this was really awesome, you guys. I think I'm going to start changing things up a little bit. So, I really super appreciate every single one of you guys who comes across this video. If you came across this video and you listened this far and you're really confused, please message me before you project anything. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty well protected at this point, that I've been able to keep those types of people out of here. And I know there's a lot of you that watch my videos that actually don't even interact with the video, but it actually helps me channel your energy and messages specifically for you guys a lot easier when you interact with it, especially when you give your undivided attention to it, and especially when you catch your own projections, because that can change your energy because you got triggered by something I said, because your 3D self doesn't know something, maybe, which isn't a bad thing. When you don't know things, you guys, it's okay to not know, and it's okay to be curious, and it's also okay to not have the information for why you know, but you just know it. So we got to understand that just that for now. I don't want to get too all over the board. This was a great Saturday night session. As most of you know, these readings are timeless. This energy is timeless, and I've experienced this myself with many other videos I've come across that were posted years or a year or whatever, but they came to me when I felt called to watch them. So if you're new to tarot, or you're new to oracle, or you're new to channeling, or you're new to this whole thing, spiritual awakening, whatever you call it, or whatever drew you to me, if you're new to this, just know that, okay, when you like a reader, like, just go with your gut. Like, if something calls out to you, that's probably, and it feels good, if it calls out to you and it feels good, it's probably for you. And if it's, say they say a certain, like, say they say something and what they say doesn't actually compute in your own brain the way that they're intending it to, like, you infer it differently, go with your gut. Go with what you feel and what feels good. And how are you, and maybe start getting into asking yourself, what does feel good? What do I like? How can I tell when I'm feeling my gut, or if it's just my ego, or if I got triggered and I went into, and I totally, because, like, when we get triggered, we can literally go straight back to, like, if we haven't addressed a certain trigger yet, we can literally be pulled back. Like, if you watch Joe Dispenza, anything on Joe Dispenza, I suggest looking into. If you don't know some of the stuff I'm talking about, he talks about how to reprogram your subconscious mind, what even your subconscious mind is, what even our minds are and how they work, and why we choose to do the things that we do, how we end up in narcissistic relationships, yada yada. But if you don't already know, if you just want to watch